Live webinar on PLI and manufacturing industry feedback and the road ahead. Moderator Mr. K.K. Gupta, Director, Resurgent India Limited. Eminent speakers Dr. Shankar Goenka, Chief Architect and Managing Director, Author, Coach and TEDx Speaker. Mr. D.S. Rajput, Chairman, South Asia Energy Group. Mr. Ritik Jain, DGM, Dixon Technologies India Limited. Mr. D.D. Maheshwari, Zonal General Manager, NSLC.
Good evening, friends. I am K.K. Gupta, your host here today again. I am a Doctor of Research in India. Today, great topic with us. We are talking about the PLI, Production Link Incentive Scheme, launched by the government in April 2020. It is a great, we welcome all the eminent speaker of this webinar, Dr. Shankar Goenka, Ritik Jain, D.D. Maheshwari, and D.S. Rajput. You are aware that Research in India is doing so many webinars every month. Mostly we are conducting it under the banner of Research in India and Association for Financial Advisors. We are having more than 500 members with us. And today we are talking a great subject, Production Link Incentive Scheme. After Make in India, this scheme was very successful scheme, you can say, to have a quality product, to have international investment. The government had identified 14 different sectors. The main object was to threshold value additions, which was launched in April 2020. A sum of rupees 1.97 lakhs crore was targeted to give as incentives, and it is also envisaged to have a 500 billion production should be there. As regard the incentive, 4 to 6% of the value addited after taking the base year of 2019 and 20, these incentives are being provided. So that is the main object. At present, the government approved 806 applications, where the investment comes to 1.76 lakh crore rupees. And government released till date about 24,000 crore rupees. So if we see that by giving incentive of rupees 1, investment is coming about 8 or 9 rupees. I'm not taking much time because subject is very, very important. And we are expert under the fields, Mr. Ritik Jain, who will be the Dickstone, who is availing the facility under the PLI scheme. So I request Mr. Jain to please inform, because we are more than 1,000 participants listening to you beside the electronic medias. So Mr. Jain, do you feel that eligibility which are at present need to be revised? Because you are the helm affair of this industry and getting the benefit under the PLI scheme. I think you are the important speaker who can have a practical knowledge under the PLI, can inform our entrepreneurs Mr. Jain is being listened by the bankers, by the entrepreneurs, and by the prospective entrepreneurs. I request Jan, please inform about the eligibility under the PLI and what do you feel that it required some changes. Mr. Jan, I hand over to Mr. Jan. Jan, sir, please.
So, good afternoon, all of you. So, production link incentive scheme. Let me start with the initial the Indian electronics manufacturing industry, and definitely my discussions will be revolving around the electronics manufacturing PLIs because since we are into electronic EMS space, so we'll be revolving around those. So, if you remember, around 2014-15, India was importer of mobile phones. There were no manufacturing and the complete mobile phone industry was being imported. Now there was certain schemes announced by government of India, like Make in India scheme was introduced, many other schemes, but this PLI scheme was an catalyst for bringing in the manufacturing in India. So right from assembly, now the domestic value addition is also happening, which is itself a benchmark which is happening in Indian industry. Now, what happened during this PLI phase? Now, first of all, let me discuss about the mobile PLI. So, during this mobile PLI phase, it's been 5 years for this PLI. Now, this is the last year for it. India has become the net exporter of the mobile phones. The complete domestic consumption is being produced in India. Now, Indian consumption is something around 150 million phones. The complete 150 million phones are being manufactured in India, by the people of India, and the surplus are being exported to US market, African markets, UAE markets, and in fact Europe, which itself establishes India as a global competitive manufacturing hub. Now, regarding the eligibility criteria and production thresholds, see, maximum of the PLIs were introduced in 2020-21, and I think most of the PLIs are going to end within the coming next 2 years. So the thresholds which were defined, I think, going by the thoughts at the moment at which the schemes were designed, the thresholds are very low. Means today the value at which the volume at which Indian industry is operating is very high. So the thresholds were very low, and the incremental investments and revenues were the only thresholds and the points to be met upon. The investments and the revenues, the government also didn't undertake the thing that the volumes for manufacturing of the mobile phones will reach such a scale that these thresholds will just be a minuscule thing. Just for example, for Dixon, investment thresholds were INR 200 crores, but we did investments of more than 1,000 crores into this business. The revenue thresholds were INR 10,000 crores in the last years. We did a revenue of more than 35,000 crores in the last year. Just like for Apple, Samsung, they have shifted their global base from China, Vietnam, Taiwan, US, whatever you say, to India. And from here, they are exporting into all around the country, around the globe. Now, there are no penalization for any under any of the PLIs for not achieving anything. There are no the only penal provisions are you will not be getting the incentives if the thresholds are not met. And I think that is a fair ask from the government point of view because the thresholds must be there. There should be a driving factor or something constraining factor into the schemes which shall make the company to push themselves to reach somewhere. Now, just a contrary to this, a PLI scheme was there for white goods. White goods PLI was for the components rather than complete finished goods. Now, in that, there was a situation where the companies invested hugely. There are many companies who have invested very deeply into the manufacturing, the machineries, the capacities. However, due to some of the reasons like duty structure, I would say, or the component ecosystem prevailing in India at that moment, they were not able to meet the revenue thresholds. I won't say कि they were not capable of, they were capable of, but due to some business scenarios, they were not able to meet. On this part, I would just request or suggest that there are companies still prevailing into all the PLI scheme. I will by the PLI schemes I would name PLI IT hardware, PLI telecom, PLI white goods, PLI large scale electronics manufacturing. That is PLI for mobile phones. There are companies who have invested into their capacities. They have invested themselves to meet the investment thresholds. But however, due to some circumstances or the market scenarios in India, they were not able to meet the revenue thresholds. So my request or my suggestion for those company would be, or just as an open discussion, that those companies shall be awarded PLI for whatever revenues they are doing, because they have met the investment thresholds, they have met the employment thresholds, if any. Then why they should be barred upon a point because something the market scenario is not there in their hand? Why should not be they awarded just because of the fact the market didn't respond as per the expected market expectations? Just for example, PLI IT hardware, this was introduced in a very unique manner by the government, very unique manner, because each and every incentives were linked to the component localization. It was a very unique thing which was something new for India. But the import of the IT hardware products are still not being kept on hold. The imports are being done by the brands. Till the time the imports won't be kept on hold, or the duty structure is not increased for the imports of the components of IT hardware, it's very difficult to get a volume over there in India. Still, the brands are shifting their base, and there is a traction for IT hardware too, because servers now also are being manufactured in India. Tablets are being manufactured, AIOs are being manufactured, desktop monitors, everything related to telecom products, IT hardware products are being manufactured in India. Now coming to the telecom products. Now telecom means I'm not aware of for all of you, but telecom has reached such scale in India that all your customer premises equipment, just like your routers, your set-top boxes, the Geo set-top box which you are using, the Airtel routers which are being used in your home, your offices, and everything, are being manufactured in India, completely being manufactured in India, with the DVAs also. Like domestic value additions are also there in that. So on this part, I would say the eligibility criteria for the companies at the time of inception of the schemes and the thresholds were at a fair level. I won't say it was not at all a fair level. It was at a fair level, and the investment thresholds. If you get into the manufacturing of a component or something, whatever you, there is some investments which needs to be done to reach a scale. The government was well wary about that thing, and they kept on the thresholds at such levels that minimum without this investment this manufacturing couldn't be taken up. Now these PLIs are going to end, so no point discussing upon a point which is the eligibility criteria and thresholds which are going to end. Now the thing coming up is the component PLI, which has been an ECMS, Electronic Component Manufacturing Scheme, which has been announced by the government this year itself. And the first year will start from 1st April 2026. Over here, they have given an option for display module assembly, camera module assembly, battery, all the localization item, which will increase the domestic value addition for India by at least 30 to 40%. At least, not less than that. Means I would say the bare PCBs and all are still imported, but rest of the items for mobile phones are getting under this PLI. Now, for this, suppose they have kept a investment thresholds of 50 crores to 250 crores to reach 250 crores. Now, if you get into a display manufacturing of display modules, this is the bare minimum investments you will be doing. Without this, you won't be able to meet the PPOs, means public procurement order guidelines, which is issued by the government. You won't be able to make that. The sales threshold are 200 crores to 1200 crores, reaching to the year 6. Now, Indian mobile manufacturer market is 150 million of mobile phones, and display modules constitute around 10% of the BOM, bill of materials. Now, looking into that, these thresholds are very slow, very low. Means anyone who is intending to get into this manufacturing need to do this. Without this investment, they won't be able to meet any kind of manufacturing or capacity, and they will have to build a capacity for the brands to get qualified. Now, for now regarding the criteria and thresholds, my request would be we should more focus the schemes which are being brought into on the later stage now, or which is being incepted by the government right now. We should bring in R&D link incentives. Despite apart from the normal incentives, there should be some focus on R&D part. Means for from the running incentives, this R&D shall be linked somewhere, that you have to do R&D also, because designing is the next phase. Assembly we have done, manufacturing we have achieved volume. Now design is the next thing. Now, linking the incentives to domestic value addition. End of the day, for any country to survive or any industry to survive, backward integration and component ecosystem is a necessity. Now, we should link those to the incentives. Design led incentives. Designing is the next way forward for Indian industry. Designing shall be added. And now mobile PLI 2, means this mobile PLI is going to end by March 26. Now mobile PLI 2 is under discussion by the government. So these things shall be brought into, like R&D, DVA, design led, or employment linked. Like employment, they have captured in the component PLI scheme, but the employment shall be linked. And for the thresholds and eligibility, I think as of now, whatever schemes has been announced, the thresholds and eligibilities are to par to in for any company to get beneficiary under the schemes. Like for component PLI scheme, I think they have received, ministry has received more than 250 applications. 250 applications just for electronic manufacturing is very huge, very huge in terms of Indian industry. So over to you, KK sir.
Thank you, Mr. Jan. What you're talking about the employment link.
Hmm.
So in a big industry, automation is there. Whether
Agreed.
some employment is created under a big industry, because this PLI maximum is getting the benefit by the big industrialist, big industries. Even SME, other thing, I think cannot be compete with that things.
Mm,
So employment can be created by
yes.
because automation is there.
Agreed.
So
Agreed. Agreed,
how
sir.
you feel that?
Agreed,
Uh,
sir. So now let me take this forward in this manner. Ki mobile manufacturing, earlier the only assembly was doing, that is final assembly. It was being done. Final assembly for manufacturing of 1 million phones, I would say the manpower requirement is something around 10,000, 1,000 to 1,200 people. But today, PCB manufacturing is also being done in India. The product introduction, the design inception is also being done in India. So employment is not only linking the manufacturing. Employment is for the designing. Employment is for R&D. Employment is for inception, innovation, industrial engineering. It's not that ki only manufacturing people are the employment. Employment includes, apart from manufacturing, also the core manufacturing. So looking into this factor, like for example, our employment raised from 5,000 people to 35,000 people in the span of 5 years. So 5 to 35 is a scale. It's not like we are not automated. Have we not been automated, the brands associated with us would not be there with us, because there are some yield rate, there are some quality constraints which has to be met for the brands. So employment opportunities are there, means, and the thresholds which have been mentioned in the component PLI scheme is very low. Like they are asking just for 300 people for display modules, 450 for camera modules, 600 for battery manufacturing, which is very low. Easy for any of the industry to meet that. And industry 4.0, this automation thing, it will take, means, some time, I would say. We have started onto that phase, but we are evolving to get into that scale, and over a period of 5-10 years, I think we'll be in a position that we can say that our plant is completely automated.
I think the production link scheme, whatever the, I think this is the best scheme ever
Yes,
introduced in India.
yes, and
When
it
we are
has been a
talking
game changer.
make in India or something like that, I think this scheme is very good scheme. Like it is confined to only 14 sectors.
Agreed.
That is a that is a major aspect. And what you're talking about the mobile, smart mobile, where we are exporting, I think major things are there. Electronic goods we are talking about. We are talking about the pharmaceuticals, other things are there. So you feel that, Mr. Jan, If this incentive will go away, whether such productions continue or the growth will be continue under this sector if
Okay.
PLI scheme will not be there?
So let me start in a reverse manner for this. Let me answer this in a reverse manner. So what we have seen with our experience, Indian government really allows any strategic sector to taper off abruptly. Like
Okay.
electronic sector has raised a scale. They have reached a volume. They have reached something which was not expected by the government, which was an unprecedented growth for India. Now it is not very easy for government to get it let it go. First thing. So for that, before any PLI scheme being ended, they have introduced component PLI scheme well ahead. This is the last year for mobile PLI. In fact, this is the last year for some of the applicants. It's the last year for telecom manufacturing also, for IT hardware also. Before the end of the financial year, they have introduced the component PLI. Now, component PLI is the next way ahead. Like suppose if a battery is being used for every product, mechanicals, the enclosures are being used for every product. They have introduced a scheme where you will be getting incentives on localizing those components, starting the manufacturing of those components. So if an incentive is taken away, a incentive is being brought in also. Might be the volumes and now for brands like Apple, Samsung, I would say they have established a very large base over in India, and they have built in the trust in India, and the even Indian government has built in the trust onto those companies. They have achieved a scale, and with this China plus one strategy, I think they have preferred India as a manufacturing hub over there. Otherwise, the exports which is coming in India, exports won't be possible if they won't have been trusted. They won't place trust in India.
Jen, I will come back to you. Now I'm coming to Dr. Shankar Goenka, sir, who is expert on the field, who is manufacturing of the drone under the SME sector. So, Mr. Goenka, you feel that PLI scheme have some ground for the productions, for the export, for the inventions, for the investment. Hello, Mr.
So,
Jain, Mr.
nam-
Goenka, sir. So, what
Namaskar,
is your
sir.
view? What is your view? Because you are a SME sector and manufacturing the drone. I think it is also covered under this scheme of 14 industry, 14 sector. Drone is the one of the sector. So, as a manufacturer of drone, how you feel that this PLI scheme can be beneficial to you also?
So,
Have any view on that, Mr.
yeah.
Goenka?
So, Namaskar, sir. Thank you very much for inviting me. जैन साहब आपका धन्यवाद. मशहूरी साहब से बहुत सालों बाद मुलाकात हुई और गुप्ता साहब तो हमारे गुरु हैं
Oh,
और
बाप रे.
गुरु
Don't
जी
tell
हैं.
all.
हाँ.
Sir.
Now coming back to this PLI scheme, sir. 2020 में जैसे सर ने बताया कि ये स्कीम शुरू हुई, 21 में ड्रोन इकोसिस्टम शुरू हुआ. ड्रोन का जो पहला लाइसेंस था वो 21 के शुरुआत में मिला. तो जो शुरुआत के एक आध जो प्लेयर थे उनको तो पीएलआई का बेनिफिट मिला.
Hmm.
पर उसके बाद में 22 के जनवरी के बाद से लेके अभी तक हमारे ड्रोन इकोसिस्टम में पीएलआई का बेनिफिट किसी को नहीं मिला.
अच्छा,
नंबर
इसका
वन.
रीजन क्या है? क्यों ऐसा हुआ?
हाँ, तो वो जब भी बात होती तो कहते जी विंडो बंद हो गई है, क्लोज हो गया, अब दोबारा खुलेगा, दोबारा इस
अच्छा.
तरीके से होगा. तो मुझे लगता है दिस इज अ मैटर ऑफ कंसर्न, क्योंकि ड्रोन इकोसिस्टम बिल्कुल नया सिस्टम है. इसमें बहुत ज्यादा आर&डी इन्वॉल्व है, बहुत ज्यादा पैसा इन्वॉल्व है. इंडिया में कुछ भी नहीं बनता था, धीरे धीरे यहाँ पे बनना शुरू हुआ है. जैसे मोबाइल इंडस्ट्री में सब कुछ. तो मतलब जो ड्रोन इकोसिस्टम शुरुआत हुई वो ऐसी हुई कि पेटी इन पेटी आउट. आपका माल आया, यहाँ पे आपने असेंबल किया, उड़ाया, तैयार किया और आपने उसको बाहर भेज दिया. तो नंबर एक तो ये चैलेंज है. दूसरा मुझे लगता है सर कि पीएलआई स्कीम के बारे में समझो आज कोई बड़ी कंपनी बन गई, उसके यहाँ तो पूरा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, लोग हैं, काम करने वाले हैं, बताने वाले हैं, उनकी अपना टीम है, सब कुछ है. जबकि इसकी जो जरूरत है वो छोटे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को है, जिनकी छोटा इकोसिस्टम है. उनको मुझे लगता है गाइड करने वाला कोई नहीं है. तो मुझे ये लगता है कि कोई भी स्कीम जो गवर्नमेंट की आती है उसके अंदर वो स्कीम ग्रास रूट तक कैसे पहुंचे. अल्टीमेटली जो भी स्कीम, जैसे समझो आज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक की बात है, तो आज मैं कई यूनिट को जानता हूं जहाँ पे मोबाइल फोन के ईयरपोर्ट बनते हैं या कोई और छोटी छोटी चीजें बनती है। अल्टीमेटली हो क्या रहा है, चाइना से सब कुछ सीकेडी कंडीशन में आ रहा है, यहाँ पे 3%, 2%, 4% लगा के आपने उसको सीकेडी कंडीशन को कन्वर्ट कर दिया और आपने कह दिया साहब ये तो मेक इन इंडिया है और ये उसके नाम पे जा रहा है। तो मुझे लगता है इससे हमारा इकोसिस्टम कभी नहीं बढ़ेगा। यदि जो भी नई चीजें हैं, जैसे आज मोबाइल फोन बनाना है या ड्रोन है या कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पार्ट है, जब तक गवर्नमेंट का सपोर्ट छोटे से छोटे, भाई आज अडानी है, हम समझो और भी कोई भी जैसे बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उनकी तो गाड़ी वैसे ही चल रही है, यहाँ से नहीं तो पेट्रोल से पैसा आ जाएगा, पेट्रोल से नहीं तो पोर्ट से आ जाएगा, पोर्ट से नहीं तो एयर से आ जाएगा, एयर से नहीं तो शिपिंग से आ जाएगा, शिपिंग से नहीं तो किसी और काम धंधे में आ जाएगा। देखो, पर मुझे लगता है कि जो हमारा स्टार्टअप का इकोसिस्टम है, जिसको की जरूरत है, जैसे मैं श्री साहब के साथ एनएसआईसी के साथ काम करते हुए इतने साल हो गए। अब ये कंपनी देखिए साहब, ये कंपनी ने कैसे कहां से कहां ग्रोथ लेके गए। न ये कोई प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं, न कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है, न कुछ है, ये
Yes.
सर्विस के चलते इतने आगे पहुंच गए। तो मुझे लगता है कि जो स्टार्टअप इको सिस्टम है या जो छोटे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है, जिनकी की रोजमर्रा की छोटी छोटी लड़ाई है। स्टार्टअप क्या होता है सर, एक कॉलेज में पढ़ के आया, कंप्यूटर के पीछे बैठा हुआ है, तो उसके लिए बिजनेस इकोसिस्टम क्या है, आई का लेटेस्ट मोबाइल फोन, लेटेस्ट आईपैड, उसके पास अच्छे ईयरपोड होने चाहिए, उसको लगता है घड़ी है, उसको लगता है सारा संसार एप्पल के इर्द गिर्द लगा हुआ है, जबकि बिजनेस तो बिल्कुल अलग है। बनता कुछ है, होता कुछ है, प्रैक्टिकल कुछ है। एंड 99% लोग जो पढ़ रहे हैं सर, वो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, और जो काम कर रहे हैं वो उसको पढ़ा नहीं रहे। और मुझे लगता है कि जब तक इंडस्ट्री लिंकेज जो एंटरप्रेन्योर है, एसएमईज वाला है, उनको छोटी छोटी स्कीम का तब फायदा होगा सर, जब उनके साथ कोई मेंटोरशिप टाइप का कल्चर होगा। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आज मैं मोबाइल फोन की बात मैंने जैन साहब के मुंह से सुनी रही थी। अब ना यदि मुझे मोबाइल फोन में कुछ काम करना है, आई नीड टू गो टू मिस्टर ऋतिक जैन साहब और कहूँ साहब कैन यू हैंड होल्ड मी, कैन यू डू माई मेंटरिंग, कैन यू प्लीज हेल्प मी टू अंडरस्टैंड कि पीएलआई कैसे चलती है, सर आप मुझे बताएंगे क्या। तो पहली बात तो जो इको सिस्टम है, उसका गुर्दा इतना बड़ा होना चाहिए कि वो हिम्मत करके जैन साहब को फोन उठाए। अच्छा, जैन साहब कोई खाली तो बैठे नहीं, हो सकता है एक बार नहीं उठाए, 4 बार फोन नहीं उठाए, 5 बार नहीं उठाए, कुछ ना कुछ प्रयास करके ही आपको मेंटरशिप मिलती है। तो मुझे लगता है कि जितने भी एसएमईज हमें सुन रहे हैं, और ये बहुत ही ग्रेट इनिशिएटिव है हमारी सर्जेंट इंडिया का, और गुप्ता साहब बहुत ही एग्रेसिव करते हैं, क्योंकि जो पैनलिस्ट आते हैं सब अपने आप में बहुत धुरमखार लोग होते हैं। तो उनसे मुझे लगता है इन सबको जोड़कर आप तक ये मैसेज दे रहे हैं। तो टू ग्रेट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स एंड टू यंग लिसनर्स, माई हम्बल सबमिशन टू यू इज, प्लीज हैव अ करेज टू फाइंड अ मेंटोर फॉर यू एंड गो टू देम। ये मत समझिए कि जो नॉलेज आपके पास है वही है। तो पीएलआई जो स्कीम है, यदि, तो मैंने सर आई विल जस्ट टेक 30 more सेकेंड। मैंने क्या करा है सर, एक छोटा सा प्रेजेंटेशन बनाया है पीएलआई का सभी के लिए। तो मैं वो जो प्रेजेंटेशन है सर, आपको शेयर कर सकता हूँ। और
प्लीज
शेयर,
शेयर, प्लीज शो
हाँ,
टू एवरीबॉडी। गोयनका जी,
अच्छा,
शो कीजिए आप इसको,
अच्छा, बस
इफ यू कैन प्रेजेंट टू द
हाँ, हाँ,
स्क्रीन, प्लीज
नहीं,
शो।
नहीं, मैं प्रेजेंट भी कर दूंगा। और मुझे लगता है कि मैं ये वाली स्क्रीन सबको, मैंने सबके लिए बनाई है, ये वाली पीपीटी, तो ये मैं सबको आपके माध्यम से भिजवा भी दूंगा, सो दैट दे कैन गो थ्रू दिस। सो जस्ट गिव मी
वेरी नाइस,
थर्टी
वेरी नाइस, वेरी
थर्टी
नाइस, यस।
सेकेंड तो उससे
गोयनका
क्या
साहब।
होगा। तो कई बार क्या होता है कि जैसे बोलने में चीजें निकल जाती हैं, पर मुझे लगता है कि सुनने में और देखने में आप सबको बहुत आसानी हो जाएगी। सो जस्ट गिव मी 30 सेकेंड एंड हियर वी गो। जी सर। सो एक मैंने छोटा सा बनाया है, ताकि ये सब चीज आपके अंडर में आ जाए, एंड थियरी को। तो मैंने एक छोटा सा रोड मैप बनाया है, जो मैं
ओके।
आपके माध्यम से सबको शेयर कर सकता हूँ। क्योंकि समझो मुझे लगा कि भाई जैन साहब अपनी इंडस्ट्री की बात करेंगे, वो अपने इंडस्ट्री की बात करेंगे, तो मुझे लगा कि एक सबको कैसे मिले, उसके लिए मैंने एक बनाया। तो इसके अंदर
वेरी
पूरा
गुड।
कवर किया है क्या प्रोडक्ट है, ग्लोबल एक्सपोर्टर क्या है। उसके अलावा मैंने इसमें कवर किया है कि इसमें इसका लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग गवर्नमेंट इंसेंटिव क्या है। इसके अंदर मैंने कवर किया है कि इसका रिपल इफेक्ट क्या है, कि आपको सर्विस प्रोवाइडर, खाली ऐसा नहीं कि पीएलआई किस पे लागू है, सर्विस प्रोवाइडर पे भी है, पैकेजिंग यूनिट पे भी है, लॉजिस्टिक पार्टनर पे भी है, कंपोनेंट के ऊपर है। तो लार्ज फर्म गेट द इंसेंटिव बट दे कैनॉट स्केल अलोन, दे नीड इकोसिस्टम ऑफ एमएसएमई फंक्शन। तो मुझे लगता है जितने भी लोग इससे जुड़े हुए हैं सर, इस
हाँ जी।
इकोसिस्टम से, उससे
हाँ
इनको
जी।
फायदा होगा एंड दे कैन आइडेंटिफाई कि मैं कहाँ फिट इन हो रहा हूँ। इसके अलावा ये एक चार्ट मैंने बनाया सर, जिसके अंदर आप देखिए 2014 में जब शुरू हुआ था तो हमारा इंपोर्ट कितना था और एक्सपोर्ट कहाँ था। 2024 में हमारा इंपोर्ट कितना घट गया बिकॉज ऑफ पीएलआई, और हमारा एक्सपोर्ट जो है वो 127 टाइम उसकी ग्रोथ हुई है। और
यस।
ये सारा डाटा आपके पास में है। लॉन्ग टर्म फ्रेमवर्क जो है गवर्नमेंट की अल्टीमेट पॉलिसी है कि हम मेक इन इंडिया विजन को कहाँ लेके चलें। तो मैंने यहाँ दिखा कि नया फ्रेमवर्क है, एग्जीक्यूशन है, मॉनिटरिंग है। तो अल्टीमेटली दिस विल इंश्योर दैट इट इज नॉट टेम्पररी स्कीम बट अ सस्टेनेबल 10 ईयर इंडस्ट्रियल विजन स्कीम। इसके साथ में फाइनेंशियल मैंने एक दिखाया है कि इसमें क्रेडिट गारंटी है, माइक्रो बिजनेस सपोर्ट है, स्टार्टअप कैपिटल है, और इसकी लिमिट्स को रिवाइज करा है। ये मैंने एक छोटा सा दिया है कि किस किस ट्रेड के अंदर है। तो जैसे फुटवेयर में, कंपोनेंट में है, टॉयज में है। ये बहुत ही बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट स्लाइड मेरे को समझ में आया कि जो भारत की 60% पॉपुलेशन एग्रीकल्चर में लगी हुई है, उनको इसका बेनिफिट कैसे मिलेगा वो मैंने इसमें दिखाया कि एग्रो स्टार्टअप। क्योंकि जब पीएलआई की बात होती है गुप्ता साहब, तो
हाँ
सब
जी सर।
समझते हैं यार ये तो मोबाइल के लिए है, ये तो ड्रोन के लिए है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक के लिए, चिप्स के लिए है। पर मुझे समझ में आया, क्योंकि टू बी ऑनेस्ट विद यू पीएलआई मेरे लिए नया सब्जेक्ट था, और मैंने कहा गुप्ता साहब ने खड़ा कर दिया तो कुछ पढ़ाई करूं। तो मैं
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
मैंने जो पढ़ाई करके सामने है उसका है कि इसमें रॉ कमोडिटी है, वैल्यू एडिशन है,
सर।
प्रोसेस हाई गुड्स है, और फ्रूट्स वेजिटेबल मखाना बोर्ड बना है। कोल्ड चेन मखाना देखिए कहां से कहां पहुंच गया। जो
राइट।
मखाना बिहार में आज 100-150 रुपए में कोई नहीं लेता था, आज जगह पे 1200 रुपए बिक रहा है।
बिल्कुल।
मतलब ये पावर है इस देश की इस समय। और ये मैंने दिया है कि सोलर कंपोनेंट, जो लोग सोलर कंपोनेंट में हैं उनके लिए भी स्कीम लागू है, ईवी बैटरी, टरबाइन और इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस के लिए है। ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट स्लाइड है सर। इस समय जो दुनिया का शिफ्ट है वो चाइना से बाहर निकल रहा है, और पूरी
राइट।
दुनिया के लिए जो है चाइना इज द मोस्ट डिपेंडेबल, ट्रस्टेबल, क्रेडिबल सोर्स है जहां पे लोग यहाँ पे पार्टनरशिप लेके आए। मैं सारे इंडस्ट्री इकोसिस्टम को ये भी बताना चाहता हूँ, दुनिया की सारी बड़ी नहीं, ऐसा नहीं कि खाली एप्पल आना चाहता है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट आना चाहता है, या कोई बहुत बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां तो आ ही रही है, पर दुनिया की बहुत छोटी छोटी कंपनी भी जो है इंडिया में स्टार्टअप को, इकोसिस्टम को देख रही है, जहां पर मुझे लगता है आपको बढ़ चढ़ के भाग लेना चाहिए और इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहिए। ये मैंने इस तरह एक बनाया कि बैलेंस व्यू, उसके प्रोज एंड कॉन्स क्या है, कि अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या है और रियलिटीज क्या है। तो मैंने यहाँ लिखा है कि अपॉर्चुनिटी तो एक बूस्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा, एनकरेज स्केल एंड रिड्यूस इंपोर्ट होगा, इंप्रूव ग्लोबल एक्सपोर्ट होगा। और इसका रियलिटीज क्या है कि बेनिफिट्स की टू लार्ज फर्म ओनली, एमएसएमई स्ट्रगल विद हाई स्केल क्राइटेरिया और एग्जीक्यूशन डिले एंड इंसेंटिव डिपेंडेंसी। इसको मुझे लगता है कि सरकार को एक फेवरेबल थोड़ा सा ध्यान देना चाहिए। हर्डल क्या है एंड व्हाट नीड टू बी फिक्स, क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड, सप्लाई रिलायबिलिटी, लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट और स्किल गैप। तो एमएसएमई जब तक क्वालिटेटिव चीज बना के नहीं देगी, जब तक पैसा आरएनडी में नहीं खर्च करेगी, तब तक वो आगे नहीं जाएगी। मुझे लगता है जो पैसा आप मोबाइल फोन, लैपटॉप इस पे खर्च कर रहे हो, उसके बदले क्वालिटेटिव आरएनडी पे खर्च करेंगे, तो मुझे लगता है एमएसएमई का भला होगा। और ये बात मैंने देखी, व्हाट यू मस्ट डू नाउ, इंप्रूव प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी। मैंने कहा कि भारत जहां मार खा रहा है, पैकेजिंग में मार खा रहा है, तो मुझे लगता है कि आपको ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड मेंटेन करने चाहिए। सर्टिफिकेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। 10,000 रुपए देके आपने आईएसओ खरीदना नहीं है, आपने उसके स्टैंडर्ड को मेंटेन करना है, विच आई फील इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। मुझे लगता है जितना आपका ऑपरेशन है डिजिटाइज करिए, नहीं तो पता लगा आप ही मालिक, आप ही चपरासी, आप ही लेने वाले, आप ही देने वाले। और मैं समझता हूँ एनएसआईसी रोज ऐसे एग्जाम्पल देखती होगी कि जहाँ पे मालिक ही सारे लगे हुए हैं। और एक बात एमएसएमई याद रखिएगा, आपकी पूछ जब तक है जब तक आप जिंदा हैं, आप खाली चलता फिरता एटीएम है। तो प्लीज मेक श्योर कि आप अपने बात का बैकअप जरूर से तैयार करके रखें। तो ऑपरेशंस को डिजिटाइज करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। पार्टनरशिप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। मैं इफको के एमडी साहब से मिला, उन्होंने कहा, मैंने कहा सर आपकी ग्रोथ का कारण क्या है, उन्होंने कहा लॉन्ग टर्म स्ट्रेटेजी एंड पार्टनरशिप। तो मुझे लगता है पार्टनरशिप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, वैल्यू ऐड करिए। सो मुझे लगता है इंजन इज रेडी, कंट्री इज रेडी, इकोसिस्टम रेडी है। क्या आप तैयार हैं? बस ये जानने और समझने वाली बात है। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
थैंक यू
सर,
गोयका सर,
थैंक यू
आपने बहुत
सर।
अच्छी बात किया है, लेकिन मेजर ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है पीएलआई स्कीम का? पे फॉर परफॉर्मेंस मॉडल, दिस आर द इशू। क्योंकि हमारा परफॉर्मेंस मॉडल जो है, बिकॉज आवर कॉस्ट फैक्टर इज वेरी हाई व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द लॉजिस्टिक, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। it is for one place to another place, it is a very huge expenses we have to incur. I think that we are not a competitive in the international market. Another aspect is clearance. Clearance में बहुत time लगता है. Once we are taking a clearance document other thing, it take a huge of time. तो इसलिए PLI scheme is very beneficial. मेक ऑफ इंडिया भी था scheme. There are so many digital scheme था. लेकिन now this scheme is very useful. For SME sector, what we are talking about, it can be also because all big industry, when we are talking about the mobile, we are talking about the pharmaceutical, we are talking about the textile, all the NSLE units are available there. I think they are also helping them. Major aspect is import substitutions. Quality product, what Shankarji also talking about the research and development. I think that is the most important things where you can have a research to have a innovations, have a quality product. I think this is the order of day where we can increase our export. So it was a very thoughtful scheme where the 4 to 6% incentive are being given for your incremental production and sale. So I think this is a very great. So now I'm coming to NSI and NSIC, Shri D.D. Maheshwari, who is the helm affair of the SME industries, who is helpful to the SME, where they are providing the raw material, they are providing the marketing, they are providing the trainings, even the subsidy they are being provided. International be fair per they are giving some concession, they are also giving to the SME sector. So, Mr. Maheshwari, should this PLI scheme, as Dr. Goenka was telling, should be extended to SME sector? What is your view on that, Mr. Maheshwari? Because you are a helm of the National Small Industrial Corporation. Maheshwari sir, please. Maheshwari ji.
So you are muted, sir.
Maheshwari sir.
महेश्वरी सर अनम्यूट करिए, अनम्यूट करिए.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Hey,
Thank
no
you.
problem, sir.
Thank you, Gupta ji.
Maheshwari ji, please give your thoughts, Maheshwari sir.
Sir, thank you, Gupta sir, for inviting me for this vibrant topic, PLI. So yesterday you have called me regarding this.
Sorry, sir. It is not your subject still because it is initial. Because Dr. Goenka, I know he must be telling the assignment should be extended. So that's I want to have your views also, sir, in this respect, sir.
Really, sir, as far the PLI scheme should be extended and to the MSMEs, yes, sir. Because last year the government has changed the definition of MSMEs. So up to 5 crore turnovers units can come under the ambit of MSMEs. So I think this change of definition, most of the MSMEs will come into this PLI benefit. Though 176, I have read the data. 176 MSMEs has taken the benefit of PLI, and around 2 lakh crore turnover has been contributed to this PLI benefit by the MSMEs, and around 7 lakh jobs, as per the data I have seen, around 7 lakh jobs were generated by MSME through this scheme. And from this scheme, sir, the government has served his purpose like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Digital India Mission, and the new semiconductor mission that has been initiated by the government of India. I think PLI scheme will serve these three purpose of the government of India. And as far as MSME is concerned, sir, there are challenges. Though the 176 units has applied for PLI, but there are some challenges regarding threshold investment limits of the PLI, because the limits are higher. So MSME's investment requirement of investment for is very high. So I think these are the challenges for MSMEs. Second चीज compliance. MSMEs में जो सर employees और जो भी होता है, तो there is a challenge for compliance of documentations is also a key factor for PLI. And second चीज है turnover, infusion of investment for achieving the turnover for eligibility criteria of PLI, because there is a requirement, like Jen said, there should be incremental sales. Incremental sales should be there, or incremental in employment also for availing the PLI benefits. So there are the challenges, but there is because MSMEs has impacted India's GDPs a lot. So there is a need of handholding MSMEs by the key investors. If they want MSMEs has to grow, so there is a need of handholding by anchor investors. Those are large players like supply chain integration. They can develop a local vendors for this so that, there should be a employment generation. There should be some technology upgradation can be done in MSMEs. So these are the uh, handholding required for the MSMEs by the large investors, so that turnover and may be increased by the MSMEs, and employment generation will be also will be take place for this. And for sir, as far as government support is concerned, to MSMEs, just I want to highlight NSI government has launched a scheme of SRI fund, Self-Reliant India Fund, wherein 10,000 crores as a mother fund and 40,000 crores as a daughter fund has been created. Total 50,000 crores has been created. So if any MSME is having problem from availing the limits from their banks, so there is a scheme, then our company NSIC Venture Capital Fund Limited can infuse the equity to the MSMEs uh, for their growth. तो उसमें सर करीब 50 करोड़ का रिसेंटली बजट में फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर हैज आल्सो अनाउंस्ड एडिशनल 2000 crores for this SIR fund. So there's if 2000 crore has been announced, then for 8,000 crores will be come from daughters fund. So there will be a 60,000 crores fund will be there, and I will inform to the participant that at present 17,000 crores funds have been capital has been infused to MSMEs by the NSIC Venture Capital Fund. So there will be support of MSMEs for this, and also recently budget has announced for again MSMEs that there will be a MSME growth fund, 1,000 crores, 10,000 crores SME fund has been announced by the finance minister also. So it will also boost the for MSMEs. And there is just like I have seen the slides of Mr. Goenka, there's the cap of CGT SME loan has been increased to 10 crores. So there will be a collateral free loan will be available to MSMEs up to 10 crores. This will also boost the production of the MSMEs also. And recently, Ministry has also launched a scheme capacity building for first-time exporters, wherein the MSME units who are willing to export their products or their IEC code is not less than 3 years old, they can be benefit for testing charges, ECGC premium, and also the export promotion membership fees. They can be get benefit. So this is also a this has been launched by the ministry to encourage the exports by MSMEs. Hence, one of our scheme is to for reimbursement in international participation in international exhibitions, wherein we reimburse 5 lakhs rupees to the MSMEs for participation of international exhibitions, so that he can showcase their products in international market. So this is also schemes for MSMEs. And recently, I have attended special vendor development program by the various PSUs. Like one of the I have recently attended by the Mazegon Docs Limited. What I have seen there, that they develop the vendors and also assist the vendors for developing the prototype products, which is the import substitutions. So my request for the large anchor investor is that if we want support from MSMEs in this PLI scheme, there should be some handholding by anchor investor to MSMEs, like this by vendor development. These are the uh, uh, points I want to raise there on this topic. And why this after this scheme, government also changes the some threshold limit. So my just like in I have studied that a specialty steels in government has some reduced the threshold limit for investment. So some submission is there to encourage the participation from the MSMEs. Government should think to those area, not those area where we are doing good, like mobile and pharma and other thing. Those fields where we are not achieving the target in the PLI scheme, we should reconsider the threshold limit so that most of the MSMEs can participate and avail the benefit of PLI, and the government mission, government aim will be served, purpose is served by the government. So these are the my inputs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Maheshwari sir. I think you have covered very nicely regarding the change in definition. If 500 crore turnover is there, they are classified up to that extent is the SME sector. You're also talking about the 10 crore rupees coverage by the Credit Guarantee Trust, whereas for a startup it can be up to 20 crore rupees coverage. There are so many facilities are being provided to SME sector. Even SME are also ancillary to the big industry. When we're talking about textile, or we're talking about the mobile industry, or we are talking about the uh, even the pharmaceutical manufacturing, they are also contributing something to that extent. Lekin great contribution by Dr. Mr. Maheshwari sir from NSIC
Thank you, sir.
regarding the. We are really thankful to you, sir, for explaining all such things and your suggestion in how PLI can be beneficial uh, to these SME sector. Major aspect is huge investment is required to come under the PLI scheme. I think this is the major challenge which they are facing it. Thank you, Vaishu sir. I think you have covered very nicely for that. Mr. Rajput, I think he is not available. Uh, so now I'm coming back to Mr. Ritik Jain. Jain sir.
Yes, sir.
Jain sir, because your PLI is one of the part of the cash flow. So when you are making any profitability or something like that, you are taking this as a profit, part of the profit. So we feel that incentives are being received in time from the government. If you are not achieving your threshold, that facility are not being given to you. So much investment is coming under the PLI. We are talking about 2 lakh crore rupees come under this scheme for 806 unit application which has been approved. 1.76 lakh crore rupees has invested. So what do you feel that the payment are being received in time?
So on this part, I would say I am very, very thankful to the government. I would say this. I'll start it like this only that I'm very, very thankful to the government. See,
Like,
there are two governments, central and state. For the central part, I would say the mechanism with the PLI, I don't know. I think this thought of PLI is a way forward thought, and the process in which it has been designed, it's very, very fast. I would say the disbursements and all. Now it's upon the company how fast they get the application audited by the uh, PMA, the project manager agency identified by the government. So just for example, I just as a highlight, I would say we are sitting in Feb 26. We have received the PLI incentive for September 2025.
oh, very nice. That means government is very prompt.
Now we have filed a claim for December 25, and we are hopeful for December 25 we'll be getting the claims before 31st March.
Oh,
So
very
now the
happy.
TAT, if you look after the TAT for the disbursements, it's how fast you do the things. Government is there, budgets are there, they will be disbursing the things because they have also defined a TAT. Aside from the previous schemes which was operating in India before 2020, they were not having a defined time. They were just telling ki we'll have the budgets, we'll audit and we'll close. Now the project management agencies are under the TAT. They have to close the audit within 30 days. Now it's upon the company how fast they react, how fast they act. And the
Okay,
money after the audit is completed, the money is being disbursed within 30 days, not a day more than that. Now this is the
great.
best part. Now, uh, again, I'll just defer now regarding the cash flows and all. Yes, these PLIs are a part of profits for us. After this PLI, the profits will be stretched for us. The margins will be under pressure. But now, just look into the things how the components things are being played. The import substitution mentioned by Shankar sir, Maheshwari sir. This import substitution is happening, the local things are growing. So one thing which was imported, a duty was paid upon that. Now no duty will be paid upon that component. So the arbitrage of duty is there.
Okay,
So now with this component play, the margins will be sustained in India and the component manufacturing scheme. I think this component manufacturing schemes, MSMEs participated very well. There are enough participations. Maheshwari, say, just let me know if I'm wrong. MSME's participation was very high into this scheme.
right.
Now, again, a highlight for Shankar sir, what he mentioned. For means, as per to my knowledge, there are more than 50 players who were MSMEs in 2021. They got converted into small enterprise. They got converted into mid enterprise within a span of 5 years. Growing with us, they just grew with us. So
So,
there
so
are,
I, so I will also come to you.
sir, please.
Very nice, very nice.
No, it's just about the ecosystem. Huh. Now again, Shankar sir, what you said, I completely go with your fact. Ki those MSME has to be proactive in approaching the brands, in approaching the companies, because it's not like if a packaging player is there, only one player is operating in India. There are enough players are there. You just go, get your quality approved, get the rates negotiated, be the first mover advantage, get the first mover advantage. You will be in a beneficial position any day. You have to take that stance. Now, coming to Maheshwari sir, this buyer seller meet, every ministry, I would request for this growth, every ministry shall have this buyer seller meet. Because being, suppose I am Dixon, I am operating in Noida. I don't know where all India, what all manufacturing are being done, what components are being manufactured. They had to be brought onto one table. We should know ki which vendors we have to evaluate. At least we should have a line of vendors ki who are manufacturing what, so that we can evaluate, we can at least ask for a quotation. At least they should participate, they should know where they are lacking, where others are advancing. They should know this fact, then only they'll be able to compete. I'm sorry to get away with
No, no,
from.
no, I think it
No,
is a
no.
very important discussion, Mr. Jain. Have any advice to our entrepreneur or a banker who are listening to you, any advice regarding the PLI, because you are the main beneficiary under the scheme? Any advice from your side to them?
For advisor, I would just request, so you have to create a capacity. Suppose a
That,
brand is there, X
that
brand. I would say, just take for example Airtel, just as a brand, just for example. Why would they come to you? You have to make that statement. Why would Airtel come to you? Either
that's
you are having that quality, you have the presentation, you have the capacity, you have the ability, or you have the cost effectiveness. Anything must be there to bring them onto the. If a competitor is, two MSMEs are there, one is quoting 9 rupees, one is quoting 10 rupees, but the quality of 10 rupees is better than 9, the brands like Airtel will go to 10. That's the benefit they will be having, because
एग्री.
the customer, it's a customer driven market. Once the customer denies that product, now the competitor for Airtel is Jio, they will move to Jio.
that's true. Competition is there. That means quality is the major aspect.
Yes, quality.
Anything, any product, why the people come to you? Because you have some additional
That's a
information with you.
negotiating
The
factor for them.
quality power. I think that is important, Jansav. I really, you are touch the point. So I'm coming to Dr. Goenka, sir. Goenka ji, any advice to your person, our entrepreneur who is listening to you, Dr. Goenka?
तो सर मैं अभी एक स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम को जैसे एक मेंटोर कर रहा हूँ,
Sir,
और वहाँ मुझे पता लगा कि उन्होंने एक अपना पोर्टल बनाया, और भारत सरकार की टोटल 800 स्कीम्स हैं,
sir.
स्टेट और सेंटर की.
Hmm.
मुझे लगता है कि जो एंटरप्रेन्योर है, छोटा है चाहे बड़ा है,
Hmm.
जब तक वो भारत सरकार की स्कीम है, जो उसको यूज कर रहा है वो उसको अवेल कर रहा है, जो उसको नहीं यूज कर रहा है वो उसको नहीं कर पा रहा है. तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, खाली प्रोडक्ट बनाना, खाली प्रोडक्ट बेचना, उसको प्रोडक्ट करना, ऑफिस को मैनेज करना, डे टू डे के फाइटिंग करना से ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट है कि आप कैसे एग्जिस्टिंग इकोसिस्टम का यूज करें. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, औरों का छोड़िए, गुप्ता साहब, इस सेमिनार से किसी और को फायदा हो या नहीं हो,
Sir.
मुझे सबसे बड़ा फायदा ये हुआ कि मेरे गुरु से मिलने का मौका मिला, आपसे. मुझे महेश्वरी साहब के साथ में 2012-13 के बाद मिलने का मौका मिला. मुझे जैन साहब से बात करके ये समझ में आया कि भैया ये मैं इनको कल से गुरु मान लेता हूँ, ताकि ये मेरा पीएलआई में मेरा कल्याण करेंगे और मुझे आगे आगे लेके जाएंगे. सो कहने का अर्थ ये
वेरी
है.
नाइस. लेकिन
तो मेरे,
पब्लिक को भी तो आपसे बड़ा मिला, जो आपने इतनी
नहीं
मेहनत
नहीं
किया डॉक्टर सर. आपने पीपीटी बनाया, इस सब्जेक्ट को बताया लोगों को, क्या चैलेंजेस हैं, क्या आपके
नहीं, मैंने आपको
सोर्सेस
भेज
हैं.
दिया. हाँ,
तो
मैंने
नहीं
आपको
सर,
पीपीटी.
आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग
हाँ
द
हाँ
पब्लिक,
हाँ
पब्लिक हैज सीन
हाँ,
all
नहीं.
your information seen by the public. I think they are also benefited by this webinar.
तो मुझे क्या लगता है सर, कि एमएसएमई को, स्मॉल एंटरप्रेन्योर को, बड़े को, अल्टीमेटली आपका इंफॉर्मेशन ही की टू सक्सेस है. कि आप अपना टाइम डिजिटल मीडिया से हटाकर, व्हाट्सएप इंडस्ट्री से हटकर, फालतू के ज्ञान से हटकर यदि काम पे ध्यान देंगे, तो दुनिया, सरकार, आज का इकोसिस्टम, और मेरे ख्याल से सर आप भी, महेश्वरी साहब भी, जैन साहब भी एग्री करेंगे कि मुझे लगता है सर, ये दुनिया का बेस्ट टाइम है काम करने का. न
Yes.
भूतो न भविष्यति. न तो ऐसा टाइम कभी जीवन में पहले आया है, ना आएगा, जहां पे गवर्नमेंट इतनी एग्रेसिव है, जहां पे इकोसिस्टम इतना एग्रेसिव है, हर आदमी लेने को तैयार है. सर मैं आपको एग्जांपल देना चाहता हूं. अभी मैंने एनर्जी एक्सपो में पार्टिसिपेट करा, जहां पर हमने हाइड्रोजन ड्रोन लॉन्च करा. ये 26 जनवरी की बात है सर, 27 जनवरी की बात है. सर आप ताज्जुब करेंगे गुप्ता साहब, पहले हम जर्मनी जाते थे एग्जीबिशंस वगैरह में, हम देखते थे क्या हमारे देश में ऐसे स्टॉल्स बनेंगे, क्या ऐसा बनेगा, खाली
Uh,
3x3 का बूथ बना के रख दिया. सर
right.
वहां पे एक एक पार्टिसिपेंट ने 5-5 करोड़ रुपए खर्च कर एग्जीबिशन में स्टॉल लगाने में. प्लास्ट इंडिया भी यहाँ पर हुआ प्रगति मैदान में. आप देखिए सर क्वालिटी कितनी है. तो मुझे लगता है यूथ जब तक अपने कैबिन को, एसी कैबिन को निकल कर बाहर नहीं जाएगा, तब तक उसको नहीं समझ में आएगी दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है. बादाम खाने से अक्ल नहीं आएगी, धक्के खाने से अक्ल आएगी. ये मेरा मैसेज जो है पूरे यूथ को मैं देना चाहता हूँ। और कामयाब होने का कोई शॉर्टकट मंत्र नहीं है सर। यू नीड टू वर्क हार्ड। आज आप भी हैं सर, आप इस एज में इतने एक्सपीरियंस के साथ आज भी आप कितनी देर मेहनत करते हैं? महेश्वरी साहब से पूछ लीजिए। बोलना बहुत आसान है सर। मैंने मेरे कॉलेज के बच्चों को पूछा महेश्वरी एक बार, महेश्वरी साहब, हर लड़की कहती है मैं सरकारी नौकरी में जाऊंगी। मैंने कहा क्यों? बोले सर काम नहीं करना पड़ता ना। मैंने कहा मैंने महेश्वरी साहब से आके पूछो एनएसआईसी में कि गवर्नमेंट में जाके काम करना पड़ता है नहीं करना पड़ता है। आज जैन साहब भी काम कर रहे हैं, तो बोलने को बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि साहब डिक्सन टेक्नोलॉजी यहाँ पहुंच गई, 50,000 करोड़ की हो गई। बट दे नो कि उनके कुर्सी के नीचे कितनी फायर है और कितनी फायर फाइटिंग डे टू डे है। इंडस्ट्री का संधि विच्छेद सबको मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, बस आपका 30 सेकंड और लूंगा गुप्ता साहब।
नहीं नहीं,
जैसे
प्लीज प्लीज।
जैसे विद्यालय का संधि विच्छेद है, विद्या धन आलय इज विद्यालय, विद्या का
यस सर।
मंदिर विद्या, और आलय
विद्यालय।
यानी मंदिर विद्यालय।
मंदिर।
वैसे इंडस्ट्री का संधि विच्छेद है, इन डस्ट यू ट्राई। मतलब रोज सुबह जब आप उठते हैं तो आपके सामने एक डस्ट फैली हुई है, आपको दिन भर ट्राई करना है क्या चलेगा क्या नहीं चलेगा, क्या बिकेगा क्या नहीं बिकेगा। और इसी में से जो है आपको अपना ताना बाना बुनकर आगे बढ़ना है सर। यही मैं समझता हूं कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि हुनर तो हम सब में है, किसी का छुप जाता है और किसी का छप जाता है। तो बात यही है। थैंक यू
Clear your dust
सर।
and do something for the country,
एंड योर
for the
सेल्फ।
substitution of the import,
हाँ हाँ।
and provide the employment to the people.
क्योंकि
Now,
सर इस समय,
lastly,
बस गुप्ता सर 10 सेकंड
हाँ
और।
प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज
हाँ,
प्लीज।
मैं ये पूरे यूथ को बताना चाहता हूँ, आज
यस।
का टाइम कोई यूरोप का नहीं है, आज का टाइम कोई अमेरिका का नहीं है, आज का टाइम कोई ऑस्ट्रेलिया कनाडा का नहीं है। वहां पर लिटरली खाने के वांदे लगे हुए हैं।
सर।
यदि आपको जुकाम आ गया बुखार आ गया तो 9 महीने बाद आपके डॉक्टर के पास में ट्रीटमेंट आएगा। यहाँ तब हॉस्पिटल में जाते हो, प्राइवेट डॉक्टर यदि आपको 5 मिनट नहीं देके आप हॉस्पिटल को सिर पे खड़ा कर लेते हो। तो मेरा ये कहने का मतलब है, आज का जो टाइम है दुनिया में बाहर जाने का नहीं, पूरी दुनिया भारत की तरफ देख रही है।
देख
तो
रही है।
मुझे लगता है कि अपने कंट्री में रहिए, अपने कंट्री पे विश्वास कीजिए, अपने कंट्री का भला करिए, ताकि आपका खुद का भला होगा। आप किसी पे मेहरबानी नहीं कर रहे हैं। और मैं आप सबको ये बताना चाहता हूँ, ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है कि कंट्री आपको क्या दे रही है, ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है आपकी इंस्टीट्यूशन आपको क्या दे रही है, ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है कि आपके घर वाले आपके पेरेंट्स आपको क्या दे रहे हैं। लाइफ में ये इंपॉर्टेंट है आप देश को क्या दे रहे हैं, आप अपने घर को क्या दे रहे
सर
हैं, आप
सर
पे क्या दे
सर,
रहे हैं, आप अपने समाज को क्या दे रहे हैं, आप अपने आप को क्या दे रहे हैं। मुझे लगता है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है।
ये
नमस्कार।
विश्व विश्व बनने का हमारा मंत्र है सर। हम
मार्गदर्शक।
इंडिया शुड बी ए गाइडिंग फैक्टर टू ऑल दी other countries.
यस सर।
Maheshwari Saab, last word from your side, sir.
सर
Maheshwari.
सर इट वाज ए वेरी नाइस फॉर अब शंकर सर ने बोल दिया है तो उसके बाद शायद बोलने का एलिमेंट्स जो इन्होंने बहुत ही क्रिस्पी है में जो बताया है, दैट इज द नीड ऑफ द, और मतलब जो हम पहले देखते थे कि भाई फॉरेन जाएंगे यूएस में वो करेंगे, तो काफी वो रहा। बाकी सर गुड स्कीम एनएसआईसी सर, शंकर गोयनका जी, अब, आप तो सर काफी जानते हैं।
हम्म।
अभी जैसे प्रोडक्ट प्रोडक्ट लिंक इंसेंटिव की हम बात कर रहे हैं, एनएसआईसी हैज स्टार्टेड सर प्रोडक्ट प्रोक्योरमेंट लिंक्ड इंसेंटिव many times back for procurement of raw materials sir.
जी सर जी
Yeah.
सर जी सर।
और last 30 years से we are doing this,
Yes, sir.
और we are continuing efforts कि how can we increase this, कि every MSME has to be benefited from our raw material procurement schemes. So this is these are the scheme are meant for benefit to the industries as a large. So we are trying, you are Goenka sir is trying, and Jain Saab is doing so well. I am very much impressed. I will talk to him because we have a very good MSMEs who can be vendor to you and can be benefited, sir. Definitely, I will be in touch with you. My head office will be in touch with you. If you help us, we will be grateful. NSIC will be grateful to you, sir, for this. On the thank you very much, sir.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक सर। ये विश्व गुरु बनने का मंत्र है, हमारे डॉक्टर गोइंका ने बताया है कि हाउ यू कैन बी विश्व गुरु। तो आई एम थैंकफुल टू, लास्टली आई एम थैnkful to डॉक्टर शंकर गोइंका सर, मिस्टर जैन सर, मिस्टर महेश्वरी सर. I think today interaction was very excellent. So with your interaction, I think who is the listener, entrepreneurs, bankers, and my friends must get something. What is the PLI scheme? How it is beneficial for the country, for the import substitutions, for the export? And you see that when it was implemented in April 20, so how much growth is there, how much import has reduced and export is increasing. I think this is a good mantra. So government has given. So I'm thankful to all the eminent speakers and my participants. Beside that, off the screen, my friends who are the arranging this type of webinars, Mr. Bishwas, Mr. Ankit, Mr. Lokesh, Mr. Yoginder, and my friends who are not appearing in the screen. Like without their help, I cannot do anything. Resurgent India is also playing very important role for the development of the SME sector. So we have started a separate wing to help the SME sector also. So for that, we are giving a free advice to the SME and also preparing the DPR and other informations to create the awareness among the SME sector. So we are also trying to have a collaborations with the NSIC, with the raw material, marketing, training, and with the insurance company also we are also trying to do something where their losses can also be covered by the insurance companies. We are thankful to you for all your, I think with a short period, I requested Goenka sir, I requested Shankar sir, and Mr. Jain sir and Maheshwari sir. I think within 1 or 2 days we have decided to hold such program. I am today in Baroda, where I am attending. I am addressing the another chamber. So still I spare my time between that conference. So I try to speak to you. I'm thankful to all my participants who will be blessing us. I request all the participants to give you a free and fair feedback to us. Thank you, sir. No word to express my gratitude by
Namaskar.
Resurgent from the behalf of Resurgent and myself. Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you,
sir.
Goenka ji. Thank you. Thank you,
नमस्कार
Jan sir.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Maheshwari
much.
sir. Thank you, Goenka
Thank you,
sir.
Maheshwari sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Maheshwari sir. Thank you very
मैं
much.
आपके नंबर लेता हूँ सर, जैन साहब, और सर के नंबर तो है महेश्वरी जी के मेरे पास.
Sure, sir.
Sure.
चलिए जी, थैंक यू महेश्वरी जी.